Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So yeah, I used the savings from switching to Progressive 50 years ago to finally buy my dream car. It's a self-driving flying car, but we just say self-flying now. You know, because it's the future, and cars fly in the future.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customer surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Another recap episode of Hashtag Saints Twitter podcast coming at you. If the energy for Ryan and I just sound a little down tonight, this one thing I realized about when we started doing these live streams is they gotta take it out of you, bro. Like it's and I don't mean that in any negative way. It is fun. It is a blast, but they like just the energy spent of just watching the Saints game with kind of just becoming like our extended family of Saints fan, man. Like just it can drain you. So if our energy sounds a little down tonight, we apologize. We wanted to do an episode, was it yesterday, and record with our 53-man roster predictions. We weren't able to do that just because the week was taxing and draining, and honestly, Ryan and I didn't have their energy, so we didn't do it last night. But we are going to talk about tonight's some roster moves. We're not going to give the whole 53. We're going to also talk about some roster moves and cuts or people or players who might be on the team, might not be on the team, and obviously recap the Chargers game. But before and again, the Chargers game is, like I said, like being in those Zooms and being in the setup that we have for the Discord where everyone can watch the game together. Beautiful, bro. brings a little tear to my eye, and it's funny because I'm thinking how it was for me, who was a Saints fan who moved to California, and I remember how hard it was when I first came out here to try to find like how to watch the Saints game. Got to go to like a sports bar, and now like there are people all over the world. We have people watching in the Discord. I think we got up to like 18, 19 people maybe in the audience tonight as we were all watching, including us. It's beautiful, man. It really is. We had some laughs. Shout out to G for telling that story one more time. Kills me every time, bro. Every time. Just kills me. But let's talk about these Saints. And there's some great that happened in this game. There's some bad, mostly injuries that happened in the game, and that's the bad that's going to be from every preseason game or injuries that can occur. But we got to talk about that first drive. For all intents and purposes, the starting offense, Michael Thomas wasn't out there, but you had the full gamut of starting offensive players, AK, Jameis, the O-line, and bruh.
You just saw it. Like when you say that's the ones, you say, okay, that's the ones. You can see the difference immediately.
I know maybe negative Nancy, and I know at times we can be a little cynical and a little hard on the team. They were like, oh, they were going against the Chargers like second team defense. Well, that the ones should do exactly what they did against the second team defense. Like that's what they should have done, and they did it. They looked great doing it. The offensive line gave Jameis time. I know Ruiz had that holding penalty on the first snap, but Ruiz, like all we've said and all you've said, just be the 29th guard in the NFL. And all intents and purposes, man, I think he's potentially on the way to being that, and that's all he needs to be, bro. That's all he needs to be. Just be average. But there's three things that stood out to me the most on that drive. Well, kind of four, but the big thing for me is I'm glad that Jameis looked as good as he did, but I'm more pleased that he took a shot on one of those passes to Jarvis Landry. He got rocked. And it's just weird because a lot of athletes who've come off bad injuries will tell you that once they get that shot out the way and they get up and they good to go, like it's like mentally, it's like, all right, like I'm good. Like we good. Like let's roll. And the fact that he got that shot, he completed a great ball to Jarvis Landry for third down.
Oh, yeah.
Like, can we talk about that ball, bro?
Beautiful.
I'm glad he got that out the way. Jarvis Landry looked great, like rejuvenated, healthy. One of your burning questions. It was burning. You said, where that old AK at, man? You just haven't seen him. Haven't seen him.
Haven't seen him.
And he looked just himself. Like as decent as he's looked the last couple of seasons, like seeing him on this drive kind of gave me that feeling like this might be that 17, 18 AK. And you get that AK, that's a different specimen.
And it's been kind of an underrated story of the preseason. I mean, this whole training camp, because all the reports have been like, man, he's looked fantastic. But it's like, it's training camp, so it's like, what you gonna say about Alvin Kamara in training camp? But man, he's just, he's in great shape. He's invigorated, whatever you want to call it, man. But he's ready. He's in his prime. Like he's a running back in his prime that has outstanding talent, understands everything about the offense. Like it's go time for him, man. Like so, you just got to block for the guy, man. That's what was missing last year. The blocking. So if we could just block for him, man, he's gonna get it, bro. I think he's primed for success, bro. And man, like with Alvin Kamara looking good for you, that just make the whole offense just
cook, bro.
Just cook, bro.
And you brought up the offensive line, and you go back to the first drive. A couple of those runs went right between number 70 and number 75. And them holes were gotta use a little porno term. Them holes was gaping, bro. Like open, bro. Just and I said it right before he fucking got injured in the live stream. I said, man, I think Penning was on track to start week 1. He was like, what he brings in the run game, and he had already made enough improvements in the pass game where he at least could be serviceable in the passing game. And then he gets injured by Juwan Johnson when I don't even know what Juwan Johnson was doing on that play, bro. I have no idea. It sounds like it may be turf. Like, we don't want to speculate, but early reports said it might be turf toe. I'll say this. I'm glad. As weird as it is to say, I'm glad it is potentially just either turf toe or like maybe a dislocated toe. Because when it first happened, like it didn't look that bad because like he got up and he like celebrated the touchdown. But then
that's how you bring the cut out though, man. It's like
it just makes you got inclined to clutch a little bit. I am surprised how quickly he's developing. Regardless of what happens this season, regardless of his injury, I am surprised of how quickly he's developing into being like a potential decent starter at one of the hardest positions to play in as a rookie.
Yeah, no question about it, man. And it just goes to show, like, the coaching, because the talent was never in question with him.
Coaching matters, man.
Like the coaching matters, bro. For him to come in, James Hurst ahead of him, so it wasn't like he was being forced to be the one. They just let him get back there and just make mistakes. Like, it's okay. Make mistakes and learn. And, that's a testament to him to kind of make the mistakes. You remember the fight he had and get kicked out of a training camp practice and all that stuff, and just kind of building and building. We hadn't heard much of that fighting stuff lately. But him, he's still physical. So you just see a player that's just going to kind of keep building the Lego blocks towards being something great, So, that's a testament to him. Hopefully the injury isn't nothing that's long-lasting, something he could bounce back from. We'll see how it shakes out. It's unfortunate because, man, with his run blocking, his ability to run block, bro, like that was going to be an asset So,
Asset, man.
so it just sucks. Like, oh, it's like, I mean, it's nothing you could do because, he needed the snaps in training camp. So it's not like, oh, why was he playing? You know what I'm saying? Like, he needed those snaps. It's just one of those things, man. It's like, goddamn, Jawan Johnson, like, what the hell was you doing, bro?
No idea what he was doing, man. No clue. I don't want to sell Jarvis Landry short. Like
No, man.
he looked great. His routes were great. He just looks like a quarterback's just best friend. Like, I'm
Best
gonna
friend,
be here.
exactly.
You don't got to worry about it. You throw it
Go see
this
that 80.
way.
You see the 8-0. Throw it to me,
Boom, caught, first down. Boom, caught, first down.
That's
Anything
what
else?
Jameis needs. That's what
Yes.
Jameis needs, man.
He does, man. He does desperately needs it.
And what got me is it was the chunk plays of, not saying it was huge plays, but it was 12, 13. Like, those are nice chain movers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are past the sticks. You could do that on offense, man. Like, I'm not saying that's gonna be every game, but I'm saying, Jameis, he was sticking them throws, bro. Them throws, balls coming out hot. And if you make those 13, 14-yard plays that keep you ahead of the sticks, man, that's money, boy.
He talked about it a couple of days ago in a presser, about how he kind of he didn't have any choice but to improve his intermediate accuracy because with the injury he had, he couldn't push his leg and his physical abilities to do longer passes. So all he could do in his rehab was shorter throws, intermediate throws. And he said he really worked on that area of his game. And you give Jameis time and he can survey the field. Like, it was truly a sight to behold. And I feel like I also wanted to mention, like, I gotta give some credit to Pete Carmichael, bro. Gotta give us. Like, I know it's been 3 preseason games. I know, I get that, but in the 3 preseason games we've seen, like, it's just been this balance. Like, run, pass, call a screen if I need to call a screen. Just rhythm, like the offense, and like you said it after the first. I think it was the first preseason game. This offense just felt fluid, man. Just real fluid. And last year, obviously, that was not what it was. And it feel like it hasn't felt fluid in a while. And I think that's a testament to Pete Carmichael. And I know we don't know how it's going to work out, but it's a early, huge sign, a good sign that the offense is looking good. And then, just on that drive, you had Jarvis, and then I didn't even talk about the Chris Olave chunk play, bro. Like, just Chris Olave just did something that you would expect him to do. Went down the field, found a big hole in zone, sat it down. Like, he's such a smart receiver, bro. Like, just smart. It fits the offense like a glove.
Just unreal.
Anything else from just the first drive that you want to touch on or hit up on?
No, I mean, look, man, like, Mark Ingram is looking spry, He's just looking like a nice little solid little running back, bro. Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know if I would use spry. He looks okay. He looks
man,
okay.
He looks spry, man. I'm telling you, man. Like, Mark Ingram was never a speed dude, bro. Like, he looks nice, man. I think he's gonna be fine in this offense.
I mean, if AK doesn't get suspended, Mark, he doesn't need to do a lot. He just needs to just be sprinkled in here and there.
Goal line, short yardage. That's it.
That's it. Defense. So let's switch it over. So the Chargers I believe the first drive they had their starting offensive line or some players from their starting offensive line, but no, it was Chase Daniel. It was no starting receivers. Defense kind of got, just they played well. We saw there's just a ferocity to this defense, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the perfect word. I when I think of the Saints defense, it's ferocity. Third down, who's coming? Demario Davis gets a sack. They get off the field. We got to saw Honey Badger make his debut as a Saint. Marcus May played. I know Marcus May then, he kind of got leaped over by Joshua Kelly, but there was a lot of plays that Marcus May made in the game. The starting cornerbacks weren't out there.
He was pissed after that, bro. He
was, man.
He was like, I'm taking your ass out.
And then I know they eventually scored on the touchdown, but he had some snaps near the goal line, bro, on the run game.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
He was coming with that ferociousness, bro. Like, just upset. But everything all can't be good, Ryan. All can't be good. I'm done with who first, bro. Done with him.
Man, I saw you had a pressure though, man. You had a one pressure.
Oh. Yeah, bro. Like, I know they can't cut him. I know they won't cut him, and I've seen it like perk up on Twitter. I'm like, and I'm want to be like, people like, stop. It's not gonna happen. But the fact that like they should not have to think if they should keep Taco Charlton or not. I think Taco Charlton has shown enough in the preseason where he deserves a spot on the team. But like, I could see them using fucking fallacy costs like, oh, we can't cut Peyton Turner, so like, we gotta cut Taco, and
right.
He frustrates me, man. He just
no. Taco ain't going nowhere, man. It's annoying, bro. Like, to me, like, Taco should have been getting a start, just off what he showed in the preseason so far. And I'll say that as someone who was not a fan of him as a prospect.
We did not. So. We were not Taco fans coming out of Michigan, but he's like shown enough and done enough that like he should have a spot on this team, and it shouldn't even be a debate. It shouldn't be a debate, and yet here we are. Don't even get me started on Marcus Davenport. That's a whole nother.
Everything can't work out, man, and those two guys were the keys to this defense, man. Like, being great. And I don't know what you're gonna get from Davenport. I don't know. Is he what is he doing right now? Is he on PUP or is he?
No, he's not on PUP, bro.
Has he practiced? Like, has he had a full practice, like with teams or whatever?
I think he did a couple of days ago.
What is going on with him?
I don't know, bro. He had that like feisty ass press conference, and
we know it's not the finger anymore. We know that it's not the finger.
Is
he a back? Like, what is going on?
Shoulder, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, bro. Like the song.
Like, what is happening? Like, what is going on, bro? Like,
oh no. Again, these are we each have like 1 to 2 questions that if we got media credentials.
That's all I want to know, man.
What is going on? Glad to see that Malcolm Roach, he got hurt. It looked real serious. He was able to come back in the game. We talked about this during the live stream. Like, Eric Wilson's spot on this team is locked in, bro.
Yeah, man.
He flashes. I do think as salty as maybe we were regarding the whole Quan thing, and I'm not saying Eric Wilson is Quan, but I think that the team maybe feel like they can get similar type of play from Eric Wilson that they got from Quan. I think another.
I agree. I think his roster spot is solidified. Honestly.
Yes. I do too. I really do. I think they got a decision to make with Sewell, the undrafted linebacker, man. Like, I can see him making the 53. Like if they deem him worthy enough in terms of like if he has a role in special teams, I can see that. We gotta get some love to Justin Evans, bro.
Please. Pops off the screen every time you watch him.
Gotta get some love to
As he should. He was a second round pick. Pick. Started in the league, so really this shouldn't be a surprise. It's just he's such an unknown quantity. It's like, oh, this guy can play. And, he's healthy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, all intents and purposes, he should be where he's at right now.
It's weird to say, and I don't know if they would do this, but if someone called them asking for PJ, I know you just brought him back, and PJ's career arc, I've loved it for him. Loved it for him completely. But if you have a team maybe offering you a fifth for PJ, I don't even know. This is just speculation. I could see them as the Saints justifying. Maybe we can trade PJ and Justin Evans can play that PJ role.
Right. No, absolutely. He can play PJ role.
Yeah.
That's no question.
It was good to see Alontae Taylor play a couple of snaps. Like I don't think he played much. I know he had the hip flexor thing that had been bothering him. Like this was the first preseason game where he actually played plays in. That was good to see. I'm just thinking other things that just kind of flashed throughout the game. Anything that popped off to you, whether it's offense, defense?
I'm not high on our running backs, man. I mean, I know we just talked about Kamara. I think he'll be great. I think Ingram will be fine, but I'm not high on the running back. Man, it's still a question mark for me. I don't believe in Tony Jones Jr. Abrams, he hadn't really come out and shine like I wanted to, like I hoped he would. So, man, I just feel like it's a big question mark. I feel like there's still moves to be made at that running back spot next week.
And when
cuts happen.
Let's talk about next week, man. It is gonna be wild. Like Monday.
Oh yeah.
Monday, Tuesday is going to be absolutely wild because every team in the NFL have until Tuesday to get down to 53 man roster and a 12-man practice squad. Teams are at 80 players right now, 80. So they're cutting 27 players. No, that's some good math by me.
Yeah.
27 players. So what you're going to have also is if you're a team and you think a team is going to cut a player, but you want that player, but you don't want to go through the process of maybe having another team pick that player up on waivers if they're subject to waivers or whatever, you're going to see a lot of these little bitty trades where a team's trading for a 7th round pick for this player that was going to get cut, or you may have two teams just swap players that they were each going to cut, but maybe the other team felt like they whatever, and it's just going to be a lot of moving and shaking. I also think you're going to see some pretty decently quote unquote brand name players that are not going to make the team. Perfect example I think of is couple of this is quite a few seasons ago, the Saints traded for Harrelson from 49ers. And he was like their week 1 starter, RIP. And that happened right after the preseason or somewhere in that timeline. So that's what's going to happen, not just with the Saints, just around the league, man. It's going to be a big thing. The Panthers are already trying to trade Terrace Marshall, bro. Already trying to get that man out of there, bro. Just the NFL is crazy. Yeah, they just frustrated with him, bro. I guess he's their wide receiver version of Peyton Turner, bro. Just never
do something.
Oh, I feel remiss if we didn't bring up Kurt Merritt, bro.
Yeah, man.
Or let's just talk about these receivers in general. We just have this broad conversation about these receivers. We're going to try to keep this short. Ryan and I are tired, so it's not gonna be a long episode. So this is gonna be maybe 10 more minutes, and we're gonna wrap up. But we gotta talk about this receiver room. We know the four are set, and then it becomes Traquan, Callaway, Kurt Merritt, Hardy, and I'm not thinking about like Dixon and them because I think they're probably practice squad candidates. Kevin White's not on the team, or he got IR'd. So those four, just watching football in preseason. I'm not taking into account like training camp reports, but just my naked eye. To me, it would be easily be Callaway and Merritt, bro.
Yeah. It just makes sense. Like, you see those guys, and you see just football players. Which, at that position, when you talk about your fifth and sixth wide receiver, that's all you want. You want football players who could contribute on offense, contribute on special teams, and just do what's asked. And those are those type of guys. Hardy, he was that guy, but man, he playing. He returned the punts in the fourth quarter, third preseason game. It's like
a minute and 50 was left in the game, Ryan.
It's like something going on there. Something is going on.
So he was on punt returns late in this game is one thing, and then two. And I get this may have been more of like a preseason thing, and I don't I'm preserving myself, whatever. I don't want to get hurt. But on at least two of those returns, I don't know how many times he first caught. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 times. But at least on 2 of those bitches, there was like no one in front of him for like 15, 20 yards. And he was just like, nope, doing a hand wave. I've been saying it for weeks on our show. I feel like at this point, if he's not willing to return, and I don't know if he is or he isn't, but if he's not willing to be the thing that made him an All-Pro, man, I'm calling Chicago. I'm calling some team and say, what? Right. Can you give me a fourth for him? Because he's just not worth. I mean, I'm not saying he's a headache, but if he's not returning, and if his role is a wide receiver 4 or 5, with his stature typically leading to him getting hurt so quickly, like how is that more like how is that a bigger value than like a Callaway or a Merritt? I don't see it. I get it. Jameis has a great connection with him. He's a great field stretcher. He has speed. I get all that. I'm not denying him that. Like those he has in spades. But on the flip side, there's a lot of fucking receiver thirsty teams out there, and I've said his peak is a fourth. I don't think he'll get more for a fourth. But if you could get just takes one. I mean, think about that Sanu trade that the Patriots made. Just take one, bro. If you get a team offering you a third, if they try to bye, see you, see ya. Traquan, he had that tried to have that effort like on that pass, bro. Like the effort, he like extended everything, and then like he just gets up and he just like. And I get it, like it looked painful as shit. But just like that's not the most like Traquan play ever. Man.
So Traquan.
I don't even know if you can get anything for Traquan anymore, man. But like,
I don't even know, man.
I just feel like if you're trying to keep 5, I'm thinking maybe 5 or 6 because they typically go 6. Your 4 is set. I think you got to keep Callaway, and I think you got to keep Merritt because. Unless you're IRing Kurt Merritt, bro, you are not sneaking him onto a practice squad. I don't think you're doing it, bro.
No, man, that dude's a player, bro. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a quandary. Somebody gonna get that X, bro. It's gonna be like, what? Like,
yeah, yes, it is.
I wouldn't cut Artie. Man, it's tough with Artie.
I get it, man.
Like I don't. He does bring a dynamic to the offense.
I don't think they would cut Hardy. I think they would trade him. But if you're just like if you're stacking them up with Hardy, Merritt, you know Hardy's not going to be back next year because of what he wants contract wise. Like if in their head we're like we're gonna lose him next season for nothing anyway. Like, but if we lose him now for nothing, but at least we could keep Kurt Merritt. Like at least you can have something on the team, like quote unquote, as a backup.
Yeah,
because if I'm looking at it, if I cut Merritt, try to sneak him on my practice squad, someone claims him, you keep Hardy. Hardy's here for this season, and the next season, this upcoming off season, he leaves. Then you just lost two players. Like, I'm not saying it's an easy choice to make, but that's how I would look at it.
Stuff.
It is, man. It is. Any other players or just things that stick out to you, just in the sense of like what's going to happen come Monday, Tuesday with this player?
I mean, book. Can we close the book on book?
Yeah.
Can we just shut that book, man?
Done with it. Done with it,
man. Done with it. You could improve the third QB position somehow. If somebody's out there.
If they want to keep three. Like, I know historically they have, but like maybe they feel like they don't need to, because in theory you kind of have the three at the tight end position if worst comes to worst.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, we could do much better than that. We could do much better. Andy Dalton looks good.
Yeah, man.
And that's just an underrated storyline, man. Like, Andy Dalton looks good, man.
Good.
He's different from Jameis. He's different. But he looks good in this offense.
Yes, man.
To the point where I would, like, if, God forbid, but, Jameis went down for whatever reason, I just have no, like, I wouldn't even, like, I feel bad for Jameis, but I would have no qualms about it. I'd be like, okay.
None.
Anytime, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would. And that's a good position to have.
How wild of a statement of that? You know what I mean? Like, that's a wild statement to make.
Right.
But I love it, though. I love it. Trying to think just off the top of my head, just position wise. I figure Kroll's going to make the practice squad.
Yeah, he is.
I wouldn't be shocked if they just carry three tight ends. Like I don't they can't carry four, right? So they're not going to carry Vanette, Hill, Troutman, and Johnson. I think if anyone out of that four, I think Nick Vanette may get cut, or maybe there's a team out there that just really wants a blocking tight end. Hey, Miami.
Man, they really like Johnson, huh?
I think they like his blocking. What's up, Ryan?
Yo.
I'm just going to say this. I don't want you to get offended. I'm a big dude. You a big dude. Damn. And I know sometimes weight loss has been an issue that we both dealt with our entire lives. But I want to tell you about something that I came across about this great new company called Vertimax.
Okay.
Did you know that Vertimax is the leading sports performance and fitness equipment company that's used by half of D1 programs and half of the NFL and NBA teams? We have an NFL podcast. It's used by professional leagues as well as other teams all around the world. There's a Vertimax platform and there's a Vertimax Raptor used to help athletes improve their performance on the field for almost 3 decades. That's almost as old as you. I know we pick on him, but did you know that we pick on him in terms of his workouts? But Jameis Winston actually has trained on a Vertimax Raptor, In the Kingdom New Orleans himself, Drew Brees is training on a Vertimax platform along with other top NFL and college football pro athletes. I was just scrolling on TikTok. I saw Amari Cooper using a Vertimax machine.
Wow.
We know we have a lot of listeners that have kids. They're in sports, they're in soccer, baseball, football, track and field, you name it. If you're a parent and you want to help your child improve in terms of their sports performance, or maybe you just feel like you just want to get your body right for the summer and get fit, you need to you need to check out Vertimax. So all you have to do is go to Vertimax.com or follow them on social media at Vertimax. That's BERTI Max. Again, that's at BERTI Max. Vertimax.com. Look into getting yourself a Vertimax platform, a Vertimax Raptor, and tell me you won't see the improvement.
Here's the lowdown on lowering bad cholesterol from Leqvio. Lowering bad cholesterol is hard, but you could do hard. You lived through 5 fad diets, 11 sleep training nights, 9 mediocre middle school recitals, 1 heart attack. And with Leqvio, you can lower your bad cholesterol and keep it low with 2 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Prescription Leqvio and glycerin is given by a doctor for people with known heart disease on a statin with diet who need more help lowering bad cholesterol. Common side effects are injection site reaction, joint pain, urinary tract infection, diarrhea, chest cold, pain in legs or arms, and shortness of breath. Results may vary. Learn more at Leqvio.com or call 1-833-537-8462. Ask your doctor about Leqvio. That's Leqvio. Lower, longer, Leqvio. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So I used the savings from switching to Progressive 30 years ago to buy tickets to the championship game. You know, between those 2 teams that didn't exist 30 years ago. Yeah, I'm a big Alaska Palm Trees fan. Which is a team now? In the future?
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customer surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
For whatever that means. Trying to think, just going through the position battles. Nick Underhill reported a couple, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, like, the Saints are getting a lot of phone calls about, players on their team, obviously like depth players, because this team, as it's currently constructed, is a deep team, man. And the way that you continue to stay deep is that when you're drafting, you don't do a draft as like, oh, we're just so fucking deep, like, oh man, we're just gonna take players to just fill out our roster like 2020. Like you got to keep drafting and stacking talent, especially the way that the Saints like to let talent go. Speaking of talent in that 2020 draft, like Zach Bond, like Bonfire gonna be poured out, bro. Like he gonna get cut, he gonna get traded, like something.
That's the end.
Something.
That's the
It's
end,
man. Like this man's out here in the fourth quarter of a preseason game behind like Sewell and Eric Wilson, bro. Like it's done. It's a done deal.
How crazy is that, though? You remember that Ravens game last year, bro? It was bonfire, bro. It was like he was ready.
Sweet.
That just shows you got to let this thing play out, man.
You do, man. Chris McCaffrey took that man's soul in week 2. He looked good against Green Bay too. Like he looked good against the Packers.
He was good against the Packers.
Never saw that man. Never saw that man again. Us 5 years ago, down 5-6 years down the line, we gonna be like the meme, like, oh, I don't even know this man. don't know this man. But we're gonna keep it short. We're gonna wrap it up right now. But really give a lot of credit to the people of the hashtag Saints Order podcast community that we're building. It's amazing. We have so many things that are going on. We have another fantasy football league going on. The other two fantasy football leagues, for our people who are a part of our community, we're going to start those next week. Either probably next week or next weekend. So the draft's going to take place. We're not going to do a live stream of the draft. We're just going to do the draft regular on just on the phone or on your computer or whatever it is. So we have fantasy drafts going on. We have the live streams. We have the Madden PS5 League coming up in the next couple of weeks. When Call of Duty comes out, we're going to have that. There's a whole networking aspect of it. All the people who are at $10 or a higher level for the Patreon, we are going to make sure all the coffee mugs are ordered within the next week and a half, and we won't get them before week 1, but everyone should hopefully get them before the month of September ends. Like, we are making sure all of those are going to be out. I think we have about 19 to 20 more. So this is becoming like our football family, man, and we truly are happy with what we're building. And not only that, we're actual business now. Like, we're registered. Like, the business debit card came in today, and I was like, oh shit, like, this is real. It says Adam and Ryan Media Company on it, and I was like, god damn, man. Like, we just making moves, and we didn't plan this. We didn't picture this. We just picked up microphones and recorded one day, and here we are. But we wouldn't be here for the people that support us the most. And so as the season goes on, anything that we're posting, whether it be on Twitter, Instagram, the Facebook page, whatever it is, if you're a listener, if you're a Patreon, please like it, retweet it, quote tweet it, put it in your stories. Just get the word out there, because we are truly trying to build a community. It's like, it's already built. Like, we already have the infrastructure built. We're just trying to add more on to it. So we did a raffle, last week. Shout out to Nat. Nat got himself Madden 23, so him and the family can enjoy it. Man, it's all about, that's all it is, man. Like, as much as y'all put in to support us, we're trying to reciprocate that the best to our ability. So thank y'all so much. So we're not going to have a 53-man roster prediction. It's just not going to happen. But we will have.
It's about to be predicted for us.
Yeah. But Tuesday night, we will have an episode where we go over the quote unquote final roster, because there still can be moves made even between now and week 1, between the next Tuesday and week 1. So we will have a 53-man roster episode Tuesday night. And then next weekend we get to enjoy it and just be kind of free. And then after that, we in the end game now, bruh.
The end game, baby.
It will be officially Falcon week, start week 1. About to get, ran on by Marcus Mariota, at least 50 plus yards. Like, I'm ready for it, bro. this is what the life we've chosen. But we're excited about it, because we're going to be all sharing it together, watching it together, joking together. Couldn't have it any other way. So thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all. Like us on all the social media things, like us on all the podcast platforms. That really helps us out. And with that, we're out.
Peace.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
Hey, remember how 20 years ago I switched to Progressive? Well, now it's the future, and I used all those savings to buy this new hologram phone. Because, it's the future, and everything is holograms now.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customer surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.